What up, bro?
Yo, what's good,
What's
bro?
good? What's goody?
Chilling, chilling. How's everything?
Chilling, man. I'm out here in Ohio right now, getting ready for this TBT.
Oh, they
Shit,
still
they got
having that?
yeah, man. They got us quarantined like crazy, locked in a room and shit. It's crazy.
They got you wearing masks.
Yeah, we gotta wear masks outside the room. They giving us a fucking test every day. One of them corona tests. We taking a COVID test every day. Um, I mean, they doing everything by the guidelines and the restrictions to make sure that everybody's safe so we can play.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but it's just crazy, bro. Like all the shit that we got to go through just to play. Like
Just
it's
to poop.
crazy right now. Yeah, like crazy, crazy.
It's been dope. But first of all, I just want to thank you for like giving me your time just to kind of chop it up. Mainly like what I'm trying to get at is maybe like somebody we can inspire, you know what I'm saying? Like the younger generation. I think you have an amazing story from where you came from to where you are now.
Right.
The ups and downs, the roller coaster rides, and how you just keep on going, you know what I'm saying? So I just want you to kind of just give a little bit of background information, and then we can kind of dive into little things that I can pick off as we speak, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if you want, you can kind of introduce yourself, and just you know what I'm saying, like everybody kind of know you, but
Nah, I
for
feel
people
you.
that don't know you, you know what I'm saying, just give us a little bit background information about yourself.
Right. So first of all, I'm Tyshawn Taylor. I'm from Hoboken, New Jersey. Uh, I played high school basketball at St. Anthony's. I went to the University of Kansas. I played 2 years with the Brooklyn Nets. And I played in about 5 or 6 different countries over the last 5 years. Um, so to just kind of bring it back, like I said, I'm born in Hoboken. I moved to Florida when I was about 7 or 8 years old. I spent about 5 or 6 years there, and that's probably where I kind of like. I think I first fell in love with the game a little bit because I was new to the environment, and that's what kind of kept me out the house. That's what got me like, I guess, meeting people, new friends and shit. So that's where I kind of felt in love with the game. I was playing it all the time. As I started to get older, I started to get better. I started to realize that Florida like was more like a football state,
Yeah,
and so like I would see a lot of guys in high school like going to big colleges for football, but never really for basketball in the area that I was in, which prompted the whole move back to New Jersey to play at St. Anthony's. Like I would come home for like the summer or spring break or whatever, and I would always go to the open gym. So whatever reason, I would always end up there.
yeah, yeah,
Um, and obviously, you know Mike, so Mike would take me around. He would take me around. He'd be like, "Yo, this is my man from Hoboken, Tyshawn," and so he would take me to the open gyms. And as I got to playing, I'm listening. I'm talking to Mike. I'm talking to Trey. I'm talking to guys that are my age, and they telling me all of the recruiting like looks they get and all the offers they got as like freshman and sophomore. And I'm like, damn, I don't got none of those, right? Like I'm not getting none of that where I'm at.
yeah, yeah,
So I went back to Florida one summer, and I was just like, Mom, I think I want to, play basketball at that school. So, she talked to my aunt, and we worked at it. We kind of figured it out where I would come back to New Jersey, and I would live with my aunt for a year, just to kind of see how it went. And it ended up going good. I ended up, having a really good sophomore year, playing good, getting some offers and just some looks. And so I just, I rocked out, and the rest is kind of history. Because you kind of seen it firsthand, just kind of like, just being from the same area, like you kind of, see me go through the high school level, watch me through college.
yeah,
Obviously, you was there as I did that little stint in the league. Um, so yeah, man. I guess that's kind of like the summary. We can
yeah,
get
yeah,
deep
yeah.
as the questions come as you think of shit, but like that's the summary. Like I said, I'm from Hoboken, spent some time in Florida, went to St. Anthony's for 3 years. It's crazy. I was just talking to my homie the other day, my homie Trayvon, and so my sophomore year of high school, my record was we was 32 and 2. Junior year of high school, we was 33-1.
Sheesh.
My senior year, we was 32-0. And then I go to Kansas and I lose. We go like 37-6. My second year, we go like 32-3. My third year, we go like 32-3. My last year, we go like 31, like 27-7 or some shit like that. So in like 7 years of playing basketball, bro, I probably lost like 20 games and won. All through my 3 years of high school, my 4 years of college, bro, I lost like 20 basketball games, bro, and I won like
close to 200 at
200
least. Like
games,
that's
right?
insane.
And I never even paid attention to that stat, but I always remember the feeling of losing. Like I hated it. Like I always hated it, right? Like it never set right with me for a reason. I always seemed like it took me harder to recover from a loss than it did everybody else for whatever reason. And it makes sense. Nigga not used to losing, so like I go overseas now and have a bad game or have a bad season, and guys are kind of comfortable with it or chilling and can kind of just bounce back and just kind of be like, yo, we going now, or we doing this, that, and the third. And I'm just like, what, bro? They just played bad. Like, we just got smacked, X, Y, Z, you know, like, but yeah, bro, like, I won a lot of basketball games. I played at pretty much every level. I got a stint in the G League. I played, like I said, overseas at every level. I've been in South America where you play at now. I've been everywhere, bro. I made my rounds for sure. And I'm going into my 8th season now. So to be able to just even say that professionally, to be able to say I'm going into my 8th season professionally is crazy, bro. You know where we come from.
Yeah.
Crazy.
The one thing to me that comes off my mind was when you was at St. Anne's, right? You were probably on paper, you probably wasn't the best player on that team.
Nah, that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Which is crazy.
Fact.
Like not a lot of people know that. Like, who was on that team that you had Dominic Cheeks, you had Mike Rosario, Trayvon,
Gio Fontaine,
Gio, that's right.
Alberto Eastwick, Chris Gaston was on my team my junior year. AJ Rogers, he ended up going to St. Joseph, playing in the A-10 for 4 years or 3 years, and then going somewhere else.
Y'all was stacked.
Yeah, it was.
And the one thing that to me that stuck out, especially when you was in high school, was like, because now you see a lot of people transfer, right? You see a lot of people, they quick to be like, you know what, man, it ain't working out for me, I'm out. And kind of you stuck to it. What was your thought process, if you can kind of think back of like why you stood there and why you kind of went through that whole process of playing for Bob Hurley?
I think for me, my whole move back from Florida was to play for Coach Hurley. Like when it got set up for me to move back from Florida to play ball here, it was only really to play for Coach Hurley. So like if I wasn't gonna go to St. Annie's or play for him, I'd have stayed in Florida. So when I came here, I was fully committed already. Like I already had the goal and the mindset that this is what I'm gonna do. I'm already locked in. So he was a tough coach to play for. It was other reasons other than like playing behind people that I really wanted to be like, bro, I can't do this. Like he just was a tough coach. You know what I mean? Like, so he made it hard for me to enjoy the game a little bit, you know, because he was so. My bad. Can you hear me?
You go. Yeah. I hear you. You good.
Yeah. So, all right, bro. So yeah, he just demanded so much of us at a young age that I didn't understand. You know, I just wanted to play basketball, right? Like he making us do stuff that I didn't know I was gonna have to do when I was in college, curfews and drug tests and all type of shit that we was doing at 15, 16 years old when you just want to hoop, right? Like, but he's doing this and preparing us, but we not understanding. So it was a lot of reasons why I wanted to fall back, but I stayed and I dealt with it because his reputation, number one, I know if he spoke highly of you and you can deal with him, you're gonna be able to deal with anybody as a coach, right? Like if you can deal with him as a coach, you're gonna be able to deal with anybody at any level as a coach. And so that was one reason. You know, obviously the relationship I made with my teammates was another reason. We was all the same age, me, Mike, Trey, Gio, Alberto. We was all in the same class. So like my sophomore year, I played, and then the next year we was like, bro, we gonna kill it. I played a lot, I played good. And then my senior year, it was just like, bro,
it's too easy.
We gonna snap. If we all just do what we do, we gonna snap. It's gonna be ridiculous. And it was crazy because my senior year, Mike averaged like I think Mike averaged like 13 points, and then Cheeks averaged like 11, and then it was me with like 9.9, a Trey with like 9.7, and then Gio with like 9.6, and then
Crazy.
Alberto with like 8. So, you know what I'm saying? Like we all averaged about 10 points, but our margin of victory was like 40. We blew everybody out. So we only
See,
played 3 quarters, right? Like we
yeah,
did all of that in 3 quarters because we was sitting out the whole 4th quarter. So
that's crazy.
we just knew the
Like,
sacrifice. Like if we all buy in, we're gonna win, and it's gonna make all of us look good. And that's really what it was.
it's crazy because like when I think about like now, right? You think about everyone wants to like everybody wants to score, everybody want to be the leading scorer and all that stuff, and it's just like, man,
Winning, bro. You
like
gotta win,
you
bro.
want to win, yeah.
You
Like
gotta win.
in order to succeed at the highest level, you got to win. You know what I'm
You
saying?
gotta
It don't
win.
matter how much buckets you score or how well you score, none of that. But
Yeah.
another thing I kind of want to talk about is you you end up going to Kansas,
Mm-hmm.
and so this was after Mario Chalmers hit the jump shot, right?
Crazy, yeah.
Um, so how was that whole experience of kind of, a guy who was kind of like he was their best player,
Yeah.
and you kind of filling into his shoes, like how was that as a player, like going in as a freshman, and like you probably had expectations, you know what I'm saying? Like people expected you to play well, so there was that type of pressure, and then also you had your own goals where you're like, you know what, man, I got to do this, and that, in order for me to get where I want to get to, right?
Right.
So like how was that process?
So for me, bro, it actually wasn't much pressure, right? So my story crazy because I wasn't supposed to go to Kansas. I committed to go to Marquette. The coach left and took another job, and so I ended up at Kansas, and I was able to watch Mario Chalmers hit that shot. I was able to know that they was about to lose all of these guys. So when I committed to Kansas, I knew that I was going to have an opportunity to play, right? The expectations was like, again, I'm coming from a school with a bunch of good players, a good coach. I'm coming from a system. Nobody don't really know how good I am, right? Nobody don't really know what position I am. They don't know if I'm a point guard. They don't know if I'm a 2 guard. They don't know if I'm a small forward at this time because I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just a guard. I'm playing on a good high school team with a bunch of good guards, and we all just play. Like, Gio's our point guard, but other than that, we all just guards. So going to Kansas, the expectations wasn't really. We didn't have no expectation. The whole team didn't because it was a bunch of new players, right? They just won a championship. Everybody left, so all the guys coming in was young. All the guys that
Yeah.
was about to play the major minutes was young. It was only 2 guys, and then the other like 6 or 7 guys that was going to play was all just coming in.
Hmm.
So it really wasn't no expectations, and I honestly think that was good for me because I was able to just play, like just go play. Like,
Yeah,
ain't
you had
nobody
a
really
really
telling you
good year.
nobody telling you got to average a certain amount of points, and ain't nobody telling you got to do this, that, and the third. Like, they really just kind of watching me at this point. They really like kind of just really seeing who I am as a player because Kansas recruited me late because they thought Mario Chalmers was still going to stay. Maybe they didn't know what Sharon Collins was going to do, so they recruited me
Oh yeah,
late. They wasn't
right.
even on it early, so they didn't really even know what they was getting, to be honest. And so when I played really good my freshman year, then the expectations started to come. Then I started to put expectations on myself. I started to hear how good I was, and then you got to average this amount if you want to go to the league, and y'all got to win. So now, after they see me, and I'm like, okay, he all right. Then it's the expectations, and that's when it didn't go bad, but I just had a rough sophomore year because the expectations
Absolutely.
really made it tough.
How was, now that you talk about your expectations, so going in like throughout your college, the rest of your college career, um, playing at the Pac-12, right? So you playing
Big
again
12, Big
the
12,
Big 12, my fault, the Big
yeah,
12,
yeah.
and a whole bunch of fans, you know what I'm saying? Big time
Crazy,
games. Uh,
crazy,
so
crazy,
like
crazy.
how did you keep it together? You know what I'm saying? Like you come from Hoboken, you know what I'm saying? You come, like, if you remember, like growing up, man, like it's
Look,
crazy, right?
one of the twins, one of the Morris twins, he went in there with me as freshman.
Oh
He
yeah,
know
that's right.
he know I was killing. I was supposed to go to the league after my freshman year, bro. You know that. That's a fact.
But
But
like you know what I'm saying? Like it's like a kid from Hoboken, right? 1 square mile, and is able to kind of put Hoboken on the map. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, like I think for me as a player, and watching it, it was like, yo, like it was almost like, yo, it's possible. You know what I'm saying? Because you had
right.
somebody in your hometown, and somebody that you kind of grew up watching and you kind of know personally. It kind of gives you that little bit of, you know what I'm saying, that little bit of motivation. Like, yo, like it's possible. Like just keep going, keep going. So just to kind of get it back to you is like, yo, like how did you keep it together, knowing that okay, your freshman year you was good. You talk about your sophomore year it was up and down season, and then how do you get it together to the point where it's like, yo, like to me, I think you arguably your senior year was probably one of the best seniors in college basketball.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. Um, for me, man, I never lost sight of the goal, right? So now I'm at the point where I get to Kansas, I put these expectations on myself, and I'm starting to realize how real they actually are. Because we dream, right? As kids, we dream. We have the dream. We all got the dream. But it's a time where you either know it may not happen, or it's a time where you realize it's possible, right? So I was at that time. My
Oh
sophomore
yeah,
year, I'm hearing it now. I'm actually hearing the talks, people saying NBA this, NBA that. Like I'm hearing it, I'm knowing it's possible. And I'm at Kansas. So just being at Kansas makes it a possibility, right? And I'm actually playing well. I'm playing a lot. Like so once I knew that it was real and it was possible, I just never lost sight of the goal, bro. It was tough because you put these expectations on yourself. It doesn't go how you want it to go. You know, you see other guys who coming after you maybe leave before you, or guys who you just watching it happen. You just watching it happen in front of you. You just like, damn, I could have won, or I should have won, or blah blah blah. But again, you just never lose sight of the goal, bro. And my senior year probably was talent-wise was the worst team that I played on in Kansas. Like the first 3 years, my team, again, the
oh
record was
yeah, yeah, it was,
33-3, 33-3. Like we was crazy. Number one
yeah,
in the country every year. And then that year, we was good. We was a good team, but for the teams that I played at Kansas, it wasn't like that. But me, myself, Thomas Robinson, he was probably the best player in college basketball after Anthony Davis that year. He was valid.
yeah,
And then me, I just held it down. And at that point in my career, this is what I'm telling myself. I'm a senior. This is my last year. I gotta ball out. I gotta
yeah,
ball out. And the crazy part about it is I had all this confidence. My coach gave me all this confidence because I'm a senior now. He trusted me a little bit more. And again, our team just not that is not as good as the other teams was. So he can't just be like, all right, fuck it, he not playing good. We got somebody else, right? Like you gotta rock with him. Good,
yeah, yeah,
bad, whatever it is. And I just happened to really be snapping that year, like so much so that I was a third team All American, like first team conference first team conference all Big 12. I was like player of the week in the Big 12 a couple of weeks. Like I was snapping, like Bob Cousy Award finalist, all of that. We made it to the national championship. Like that was the best year of basketball, like for a stretch that I played in my entire life, because without me playing that good, we don't win those games. So they meant something. Like I had to play that good. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't
yep,
like I could have a bad night. Like I can't, because if I do, we
yeah,
don't
you're
win.
gonna lose.
We don't
Yeah,
win. So they was like every night I gotta strap it on, and I did, and it was crazy because as the game's going, I'm realizing as the season's going on, I'm realizing how much more like how much closer I'm getting to actually saying I'm in the NBA. Like I'm realizing that every single game, bro. Like every game that season that I play and I play good. I'm just like, bro, just keep going, bro. Like just keep going. Like I'm trying not to think too much. I'm trying not to get like overexcited about it, but I know that I'm playing for something, and I know that it's happening. Like I'm seeing it happening. I'm not even listening to people no more, right? Like I'm over. I'm a senior now. Like it's my last year. You
yeah.
can't tell me if I do this, if I do that, you might go to the league. It's like I know what it is now. So I just balled the fuck out, bro. I
Nah,
had
yeah, I
blinders on.
remember it, yo. Y'all had who y'all played? Kentucky. They had Who did they have?
They had Mike
Marcus,
Kidd,
Marcus,
Gilchrist,
yes, yes, Marcus Teague.
Marcus T,
Um, who else was
AD.
on it? AD, that's right, that's right. They were stacked. They were stacked. They should have easily
Bro,
like
we played them
when.
twice that year. We played them in the Garden that year too,
Yep, yep,
early in the season, and they
yep.
smacked us. Like they beat us by like probably like 15,
Yeah, that game
16.
was crazy.
Right, and then they came back and we ended up seeing them at the end of the year, which they was a better team. They just was a better team, but you
Yeah,
know
y'all gave him a run though.
it was
Y'all gave
nothing
him
for us to be mad about, bro. Like we wasn't even supposed to be there, like realistically. Like so, just being there, excuse me, just being there, like, and then at that point, I'm definitely telling myself, "Oh yeah, it's done now. Your name
you
getting
good.
called for sure." At that point, I couldn't even be mad that we lost. I don't even remember like being mad at the loss. Like I remember like going over to T-Rob and being like, "Yo, bro, you about to be a lottery pick," and then like just kind of like smiling and walking off. And this man crying, like he's bending over, like crying and shit. And I couldn't even like I just said like a couple words to him, and I walked off and I smiled like it's over, it's over,
Yeah,
it's over.
yep. And then you get drafted,
Yeah,
right? And then you go. Who drafted you? I forget. Was it?
Portland,
It was Portland. It was Portland.
Trailblazers.
Portland
Yeah,
drafted you, and then you ended up with Brooklyn, though.
yeah. So
Um.
the
So
same month.
how was that? How was that?
Um, dream come true, bro. Like
Yeah,
I couldn't have really scripted the whole like the specific day. I couldn't have really scripted it any better. Um, like just hearing my name called. Obviously, we want to walk across the stage and all of that, but like, just having my name called. I did it at the crib, so being around the family and all of that, that was super dope. And then when they said I was going to Brooklyn, shit just got real lit. Like, shit just got
you home. That's home. Like
it
that's
just got
home.
real lit. It got really lit, bro. Like I was excited. I was really excited, and I was happy because I seen opportunity there. Like I thought that I was gonna be able to get the opportunity to hoop, so I was excited about it. And yeah, man, like a Jersey kid get drafted to the crib. Like I almost wish they still was the New Jersey Nets for like another year, just so I could
That'd
have
have been
said I
dope.
played for the New Jersey Nets. But that was the first season that Brooklyn was, they had the Barclays and all of that. So I was technically the first Brooklyn Nets draft pick, in the franchise. So that's dope. Um, and and yeah, man, I played the first games in the Barclays Center. Like I did all of that. I definitely made some type of history in my own mind. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that is
Absolutely.
valid to me. Um, so yeah, man, that shit was dope. Like 41st pick, second round. Um, Stamp, bro, I did it.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
mean,
Like
like I
it's
did it. So like, yeah.
um. And then you play what? It was 2 years, right? With Brooklyn.
So it was a year and a half.
Okay.
You kind of like again, you was there, like you from around the way, bro. So like you see me every day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You see me every day.
He was home.
I was at the crib, like, and not that I wasn't putting the work in, but the opportunity wasn't there for me, so I wasn't playing a lot. And because I wasn't playing a lot and I was home, it was easy to have like some distractions.
Absolutely.
It was easy to say, fuck it, I'm not playing. I bet we're gonna go do this, we're gonna go do that, we're gonna go do this. Like fuck not playing. And
Yo,
so
it's interesting that you talk about opportunity, right?
mhm.
Like for me, like I think that's all it is, right? So if you get a dude that is talented, right? Like that is really good. If you give that person an opportunity to kind of showcase what he could do, it's over. You know what I'm saying? Like they take
Well,
advantage of that.
facts.
And like to me, I think that's way more valuable, right? Like give a dude an opportunity. If he don't prove himself in that opportunity, then okay.
Then it's
But
okay.
you know what I'm saying? So it's interesting that you talk about that because if you think about you go back from high school, right? You go to high school, you go to college, like all you needed was an opportunity. And that's
Prove
why
myself, and I proved myself every
and,
time.
and every time you prove yourself. So it's interesting because it's just like, yo, like you know how many people would quit? Like things ain't going their way, right? Things that are not going their way. Like you said, you spoke about expectations. expectations is the rule of all evil, in my opinion, right? You put expectations on yourself, and it's like, all right, for example, you get out of college and you say, yo, this is what, when I get out of college, this is what I'm going to be making. And then you come to find out, like, yo, you nowhere near that, right?
This
So
shit's
now
really real.
you know what I'm saying? So now you
Yeah.
like, you sit back and you're like, damn, yo, like, am I this good? Or am I, like, you know what I'm saying? You
Start
start
second
questioning
guessing
yourself.
yourself.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, during that time, it's like, for me, and I can kind of speak on it just from my experience, it was like, yo, like, it brought me back, right? It sat me back down, like, bro, like, first of all, you are good, because if
Yeah.
you wasn't good, you
You
wouldn't
wouldn't
be
even
playing.
be
You
here.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
that's a
now it's
fact.
like, so it's like, relax, and then it's like, hold on, like, not everybody's like, not everybody gets to where they want to get to just like this, right?
Yeah.
So when I think of, for example, like, a guy that kind of worked, like you, for example, you know what I'm saying? Like, you a dude that literally wasn't the best player on St. Anthony's on
Yeah.
paper. You feel me?
Probably on none of the teams that I played on, I
You
was
weren't,
the best player. On none
yeah,
of the
and it
teams
was
I
just
played
like,
on.
it was like, yo, like, you proved yourself every time, right? And it's just like, it's like, yo, like, I think that's the dope part. You feel me? I think that's where that shows so much value in who you are as a person, as a player. Like, yo, like,
I
this,
appreciate that, bro.
nah, seriously, yo, like think about it, man. It's like, now think about life. You feel me? Take it to life. Like, yo, like, what if something go bad? What do? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Do you stop? Do you sit down and be like, man, it's over? Like,
Yeah.
or you kind of keep going? You feel me? And to me, it's like, yo, like, the basketball can translate and kind of come together and be a full circle for everyone, right? And I say that to you, like, bro, like, that right there is incredible. You feel me? Like, every year you had to prove yourself, right? You know how, like,
Yeah.
to me, I feel like, yo, like, that gets tiring, right? But it's not
Right.
necessarily, I shouldn't say necessarily like proving yourself to other people, is literally proving yourself, like, yo, like, I belong here. You
Yeah.
feel me?
Like, why they
And
even questioning that? That's
you
what
feel,
it be for
yeah,
me. Like, that's what it be for me because, you know, we don't lack confidence, bro. Like, we just can't lack confidence. We walk around with a swagger on us. Whether we humble or not, we know who we are. So we're not lacking the confidence. So when the motherfuckers start to question who we are or question the work we put in or just question, like, just question us, it make you feel like, nah, it's not me, it's them. I know who I am, right? Like, I know who I am. I got
yeah,
enough people that's telling me I'm valid and I'm doing the right things for one or two people to tell me I'm not that,
yeah,
right? So the motherfuckers' expectations is is out the window for me. It'd be my own expectations at this point, right?
yeah,
It'd be my
and
own expectations that be scaring me, bro, because I'm just at a certain age where I felt like, like you said, when you get out of college, you say, okay, by the time I'm 30, I'm going to have this, that, and the third. By the time I'm 35, I want to be here. And when you not, you start to look around like, damn, what's going on? Why it's not happening, X, Y, Z. But, everybody marathon is just different, bro. And I've learned that myself because at some point, people would have said I was ahead in life, right? And right now at 30, I'm looking at people 30 like, damn, I wish I had my shit more together. You feel what I'm saying? So
facts.
that's just how that go. Everybody
It,
marathon is different, bro.
it's crazy because for me, right, when I was in Bahia, it was the same thing, right? So you like, man, like, I come off arguably in my career, probably my best career, right? And I get to Bahia and it's just like, you gotta you go from playing 40 minutes, right, to playing 26 minutes.
Yeah.
You feel me? And not saying that they didn't mess with me, like, they let me ball, but it's just like, yo, like, that time right there is a
It's a complete
like,
difference.
it's a complete difference, right? So you at the pro level. So now at the pro level, it's like, it's a lot quicker. The possession, like, the shots are a lot faster.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
the shots is going up second pass. You feel me? Like, you ain't running offense. Like, the ball going up. You feel me?
I love
So
it.
so it's
I
like,
love it.
like, understanding that is key. But then it goes back to, like, bro, like, when you put your expectations on yourself, you like, bro, like, I gotta meet this. I gotta meet this. Not realizing, like, bro, like, you don't. You really don't. You feel me? Like, you just gotta go out there and hoop, and that's how you become the player who you're supposed to be. You feel me?
especially for somebody like you, like you said, just trying to reach people. If I can just try to talk to other people for a second, like the younger guys, the guys who, you know, just starting their careers off professionally or in college, you know, freshmen or, you know, freshmen in high school, whoever, the younger guys, again, if you're speaking on expectations, don't put too much expectations on yourself. Just continue to put the work in. Whatever you did to get you there, do that times 2 more. You know what I'm saying? Do that times a little bit more every time, because you're doing the right things. You're on the right path. You're doing the right things. It's hard. It's human nature to look at somebody else and be like, damn, I could do that maybe better, or I should do that, but you know, just keep your blinders on and keep doing whatever you're doing to get you in the position where you at, that you feel comfortable, and push it a little harder, and you'll be all right. And that's what I learned over my time, bro. Like every time I felt like I was doing enough, I felt like I could do a little bit more too. Like every time I felt like I was doing enough, I always knew that there was a little bit more. So that's in basketball, and that's just even with, again, we talking life too. That's just with life. Like I'm not half stepping, because as young black men, we can't be out here slipping. So now I gotta do everything to a T. You know what I mean? I gotta be super cautious and smart about every decision that I make. You know what I'm saying? The people that I'm around now, like, it's just shit coming full circle, like you said, and the basketball shit bring it all together, because it translates to me. You know what I'm saying? It always translates to me.
I mean, you're right, man. Like, it's crazy because I tell everybody this, and everybody that I talk to, they can tell you, like, bro, like, sometimes you need to just sit down and reflect, right? Like, we get caught up into trying to accomplish so much, doing so much,
Facts.
that we don't realize, like, yo, like, bro, like, did you like realize like what you just did?
Yeah,
And it's just
that's a
like,
fact.
but as a hooper, and also like as someone that is just like passionate about what they do, like you sometimes forget about that, right? You kind of just like, man, like I got to do more. I got to do more.
You're so in the moment, bro. You're so in the moment,
and not realizing like, yo, like relax, like look what you just accomplished. You feel me?
bro. I got to do that shit like every other like month with myself, bro. Like I got to take a, you know what I mean, like a breather, and just be like, bro, you like first person in your family to do this, bro. You did that. Like you got kids that look up to you and that love you. You know what I'm saying? Like it get deeper and deeper past the basketball accomplishments for me, because I beat the odds in so many other ways as well. You feel what I'm saying? So for me, it's just having those expectations for myself, but also not wanting to be content and settle, but also understanding how far I've come, right? And having to feel accomplished about that, bro, because we know where we come from, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how I got to take that step back, because like you said, we in the moment, we want to do so more. We still young. We still feel like we got so much more to accomplish. But if we actually look back and see how far we came, bro, this shit's crazy.
Like honestly, like if you really sit down and think about, would you be where you are today, right? Of course you would say like, yeah, I would do this, like, because that's just, as a kid, that's what you dream about, right? But to sit here and say you lived it, you know what I'm saying? Like, yes, I did this. Yes, I did that. Yes, I experienced this. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, like damn, like, yo, I done a lot. You feel me?
Yeah.
And I think it's really important for everyone, you know what I'm saying? Especially the younger guys, like, yes, you guys are young. Yes, you still got more life, right? You feel me? But like cherish those moments, right? Because those moments go by so fast.
Yeah.
That,
Oh yeah.
bro, like you look back, like, man, like I was just 22. I was just 20. You feel me? And
that's a fact, gang.
like it's like you start to realize, like, man, maybe I could have did this differently, or maybe I should have did this differently.
Word.
Like, bro, like I think it's so important that you go through what you go through, so that when you get to your age, you look back and be like, all right, I'm not gonna make this same mistake.
Me and you had so many of these conversations, just like in passing, like about me, like it being tough for me to kind of like move past where I feel like I should be, right? Like I feel like I was in a position, and I had an opportunity to be in a different position right now, right? Like in a different position, a different like basketball wise, whether it's, you know, life wise, whatever. I felt like I was in position, right? And I feel like because I was moving so fast and I was so caught up in what was going on in the moment, I wasn't thinking, you know, 2-3 years ahead of time, right? I wasn't thinking 2-3 years ahead of time. and that shit goes like that, bro, that you just feel like, damn, I wish I'd have just did that a little different. I wish I'd have did that a little different. And it's tough to get past those moments, but personally for me, bro, like I got to, right? Like I got to, because we talked about this before. Like if I sit and dwell on that type of shit, I'll go crazy. But it's the shit that I've done. It's the shit that I've done, that I've accomplished, that keeps me saying, you know what, bro, you did that. You can do so much more. It's not even about the L's to me, bro. I don't even see them no more.
Yeah.
I don't even see them no more, because what's really an L? Like, what's really an L? Not being in the NBA? It's like, nah, that's not really an L, because that was my dream, but that's not everybody's dream anyway.
Dream, yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So that's not an L. That's only an L to somebody who dreamed it their whole life and maybe who didn't get there, or somebody like me who got there and not there. But like, it's not really an L. I got there. It's way more of a win than it is of an L. You know what I'm saying? So like, man, I just be hanging on to those wins, bro.
Like honestly, like I look at that situation of you being in the league and then kind of going overseas and playing overseas. Like, bro, like
that's normal basketball shit,
bro.
But in real life, people don't understand it, right? Like the number, it's 100 people it's 1 million people a year that do that. That's normal basketball life, but
that's life. You feel me? But my thing is like you learn so much more from that. Like, let's be real. If you stay in the league, right? You still in the league. Yes, you may have matured or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Whatever people may say, right?
I know exactly what you mean.
In order for you to become a better person, Tyshawn Taylor, let me become a better person for myself, right?
Yeah.
I think that was something that, you know what I'm saying? You look back and you like, yo, like I learned so much more from that than me being in it. You feel me?
Thanks. Those experiences was needed, bro. Like those bumps in the road was needed for me, because to be honest, bro, every time I went through one of them, I lost a motherfucker who wasn't really fucking with me, right? Like every time I had to go through some hard shit, I stopped fucking with somebody who wasn't really fucking with me. I learned something about myself. I had time to reflect when I was moving fast. Like I had to really sit down and like check myself or check people around me, check my surroundings. So every time I went through one of those, it was a learning experience. I never personally felt like I lost anything ever, right? Personally, it's hard to not, when you hear shit, right? But I personally never felt like nothing. I felt like it was always something that I gained from them situations, bro. Even if I lost somebody or something, I gained, because every time it was a motherfucker wasn't good for me. It was a situation that I was going to probably get caught up in doing some dumb shit I had no business doing. And so those moments when I was, when I had to sit down and I'm just be like, bro, that ain't it. That's not it. That ain't it. Nah, that ain't.
Like, and that's why I think to me, and it's just my opinion. This is me from somebody from the outside looking in. It's like, man, like those experiences are so important to everyone, right? To their story. Like you wouldn't be able to sit here and talk about that if you didn't experience that, right? So, and I think moving forward, there's gonna be another person that's gonna be in your shoes, right? And hopefully
there's gonna be a lot more people in my shoes than it is LeBron James's.
Absolutely.
You feel what I'm saying? It's gonna be, so this is why I don't mind having to go through that experience, because I got 2 sons, bro, that love the game, and I hope they both go to the NBA, right? Like I hope they both get nice enough to get there and have long, successful careers. But I know the percentages say if they continue to play basketball, they'll have a career more like mine than they will.
Of course.
You feel what I'm saying? So for me to have to go through this story, I feel like it was it's gonna all come together. It'll come together.
Yeah, and that's why, like, and that's another thing that to me, like, man, like it goes all the way back to when you was in high school, man. It's like it's the fact that you just keep going, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't understand how powerful that is, bro. Like as a player, as someone that sits here and is like, man, as a player, of course you have times where it's like, man, forget this.
I'm done.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to do this no more.
Especially playing overseas, bro. Like that's when it gets the hardest, because you dolo over there, like shit be, and I mean, it's not. you get to travel and you get to see some dope shit sometime, but it's not a great experience every time. And even when you having a good time, most of the time you by yourself, so you enjoying it, but it's like, damn, are you really? Like, I wish I could be with my shorty, or I wish I could be with my kids, or I wish I could be with my family, or you know what I'm saying? So it's hard to enjoy it sometimes. So yeah, man, those situations get tough. So I definitely appreciate you appreciating the fact that I keep going. And I think one part of that is just the love for the game, right? One part of that is I love playing basketball. That's all I've ever done my entire life. I told myself at 10 years old, I'm gonna be in the NBA. Now it was a dream, but I never played no other sport. I never liked nothing else. I carried my ball with me, like, you know what I mean? That was my shit. So the love for the game is gonna always be there.
Yeah.
And then you add in, the professional being able to make take care of yourself and take care of your family and have a living. It just ups the ante. But I always play ball. I'll go to any park, anywhere, any 24-hour fitness. You know what I'm saying? I'll hoop because I just love to, whether I'm getting paid for it or not. But to getting paid for it and being able to travel and take care of my family, that's like the cherry on top of the whole shit.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, man, it's I couldn't have pictured myself doing anything other than what my life was, and that's just playing basketball. I never pictured it being in the NBA, really. Like, I guess I've always pictured it being in the NBA, but I never pictured myself having like a 20-year career. I just pictured myself being drafted and playing in the NBA, right?
Yeah.
I never see myself playing overseas in all of these different countries, but I never see myself doing anything but playing basketball. So this is the life that I've always wanted. If I could, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the life I've always wanted. I'm in the hotel right now getting ready to play ball. You know what I mean? Like, in a fucking pandemic when everybody not supposed to be even, you know what I mean? That's how much I fuck with it. And obviously, being able to get paid for it, again, that's the cherry on top.
That's
But
the plus. Yeah.
I'll hoop. You know that. You know that.
Facts. Just to kind of wrap things up, because I know you busy and stuff, but like, what is some advice that you can give to the viewers, especially to the guys that are kind of growing up and have hoop dreams,
Yeah.
and want to play at the highest level? What are some advice, or what is an advice that you can give to them?
I think for me, man, just be passionate about it, man. If you love the game and you love the game, or anything that you do, music, art, dance, whatever it is that you love to do, and you passionate about something, give it your all. Trust yourself, trust your gut. Always be confident in yourself and your ability and the work that you put in. Because if you putting in work and you doing the right things and shit like that, it'll pay off and it'll come together. Everybody's marathon is different. Some people get to their finish line faster than others. Some people goals take a little bit longer to reach, but if you have a goal and you love that thing and you passionate about that thing and you see a future doing that thing, give it your all.
Nah, I appreciate you, bro.
No, I
Thank you
appreciate
again.
you.
Nah,
Keep doing what you're doing.
for sure. No script. See y'all. Appreciate you, bro.
All right.
All right. Later.